person that cracks Hogwarts Legacy is Okay, that's it. I'm done with pirating. This game isn't even good anyways. Gonna have to resort to this. ThinkPad, summon, swim well in the Blob to life. Sweet BLÅHAJ. Okay, so what we're gonna do is... Oh, hold on guys, check out my specs. Nah, boring. But anyway, you know, with all this talk of like boycotting and it not working out with like, you know, Hogwarts Legacy, maybe we should just support trans people who make games. That way we support, you know, them directly instead of like harming them indirectly or something. Hey, don't look at my login, that's private. Probably the most well-known game on this list, Celeste, features Madeline, a gay trans girl who decides to go to Canada's Celeste Mountains to climb it. This climb represents a battle against depression, anxiety, alcoholism, or transition, or anything, really. It's about self-improvement. It gets dark at times, but has an overall positive message. It handles the topic really well and still manages to have some surprises, despite how simple the story is. The gameplay itself is fun, a difficult platformer, but it's not that punishing since it will often immediately restart you at the short little section, you know, that you failed at. If the game is too hard, they have an accessibility mode which kind of acts like a little cheat code menu. This makes it an easier game to recommend since you can tailor it to your own ability if needed. But still, you will find yourself retrying the same little bit a lot, inch by inch, demanding extra skill from you on every next platforming puzzle. This means by the time you've reached the top of the mountain, you will have felt your growth and skill, which is one of the main appeals of the game. The difficulty really does ramp up though, and by the time you finish the 9th chapter, you're basically doing speedrun strats. It actually teaches you one. Gosh, that chapter is insane. Regardless, I think it's earned its infamy as a trans rite of passage. The game was made by around 6 people, 2 of which are known to be trans. The main director and writer of the game, Maddie Thornton, is one of them, who began transition while making the game. The entire game is said to be based on her own life experiences. I mean, come on, they have the same name. It's an author insert. The other is Lena Raine, the music composer. They have also worked on Minecraft, Steven Universe, the movie, Guild Wars 2, and Deltarune. If you buy this game, the money goes to the company Extremely OK Games, which is founded by Maddie. So it's safe to say that your money will be going to at least one trans person. What if you want your money to only go to trans people? UNSIGHTED is made by 2 transgender developers who live in Brazil. The game is a platforming combat Metroidvania with a twist mechanic of every character in the game having a limited lifespan before they come unsighted, which you can extend with dust. This gives a subtle moral and strategic pressure to the game, having to pick and choose between who you want and need. Of course, if you're really good at the game, then no one becomes incited, but that will take some practice. You can turn it off or make the difficulty easier if that bothers you, but I enjoyed it. Overall, I love the mechanics of the game. Giving you high mobility while also restricting it with stamina means you pull off moves. It's more impressive. Also, pretty much everything in the game is parryable, making you a bit of a bad butt against typically strong enemies. It also has a chip system to modify your character's stats and abilities. Different craftable and upgradable weapons, which can shift your playstyle too. The biggest problem in the game for me is unexplained puzzles or unclear paths, which can interrupt the flow of the game. I've had to look at some walkthroughs, but besides that, it might be my favorite game on this list, and the art is cool too. Also, everyone in the game is apparently trans and gay, according to this tweet, but the transness I don't think comes up at all, and the gayness does to a minor extent for the main character, which I guess is nice. So, along with Celeste, I recommend this game. The next one isn't quite a game. It is a visual novel with interactive elements. In Secret Little Haven, you play the role as a young person figuring out that you're trans at the turn of the millennium through the medium of the internet in a magical girl anime form. Their data is restrictive, limiting their computer hours. Honestly, this reminds me too much of my childhood. I like the old internet and old PC aesthetic, but the terminal is a little intuitive. I didn't have to look up a guide, but I wouldn't blame anyone if they did on a certain section. Regardless, it's a short and cheap game. It's made by a singular trans developer named Victoria, so you'd be funding her directly. Would recommend if you have early internet nostalgia, or if you want to live or relive what it's like to be a trans egg. I only played the demo of the next one, but maybe you guys can try it out. CreatorCrate, made by the trans woman Jory Ryan, is a roguelite with a faint story. You are a sentient 3D printer, which tries to consume matter with the goal of escaping a space station. With each death, your neural network is transported to a new body on the station. You learning as a player is explained as the neural network AI learning. It has platforming and physics, apparently with some gimmicks thrown in like zero gravity. It successfully gives you a feeling of you are not stuck with them, they are stuck with you. Reversed horror vibes. The game is a little rough around the edges, so try the free demo first, see if you like it before you buy it. It's getting late, so I'm probably gonna call it for the night. Here's some other games made by trans people I found, if you want to check them out on your own time. Extreme MEATPUNKS Forever, a visual novel with fascist fighting gameplay, made by Heather Flowers. Get in the Car, Loser, a RPG fighting visual novel made by Christine Love. If Found, a visual novel made by the mostly queer team Dreamfeel. Retrace, a timeline visual novel lead developed by a trans man from Spider Lily Studios. The Anodyne series made by two people, one of which is a trans woman named Marina Kittica. A Normal Lost Phone, a phone visual novel made in part by trans woman Diane Londes of the team Accidental Queens. The Hayseed Knight, a furry visual novel made by the autistic pansexual non-binary trans man Sandra Maxine Molina. And one that isn't out quite yet but looks really fun is Vividerie, made by trans YouTuber Wingeline. Lastly, I reached out to a commenter in my Trans YouTubers Coming Out video. She is a trans girl solo developer making a cross between Doom, Ultrakill, and Titanfall named RampRage. At the moment, it's more of a tech demo and its development is very early, but the bones are in place to make something cool down the line. And it's neat, a trans dev was in my comments section. Oh wow, my video got some views and comments. Awesome. Dear Shooting Star, I wish for trans acceptance and representation in the gaming industry. Or a new shark plushie, I guess. Your choice. Good night, guys. See you in the morning. I'll be making some new content for you all. Like and subscribe or something. Or debate transphobes in the comments. That's always fun.